too white, too middle class, and lacking in empathy. These are some of the biggest criticisms of climate activism in the UK over the last few years.
What do we want? When do we want it?
The activists here don't adequately represent the people most impacted by climate change. Lots of factors impact how climate change affects you: age, race, disability, and gender, to name a few. But it also has a lot to do with your class. Here's how climate change and class intersect. Globally, the richest 1% emit as much CO2 as 2/3 of humanity facing the worst poverty. That means roughly 5 billion people are paying the price of a climate crisis they did little to cause. And this inequality happens on different scales, even here in our backyard in the UK.
We're one of the wealthiest nations on the planet, and poverty is getting worse, not better.
And those experiencing poverty and hardship in the UK are worst affected by climate change.
But we know that these issues disproportionately impact working class people, despite working class people being disproportionately not responsible for emissions themselves, right?
For example, lower income neighbourhoods are often exposed to higher levels of air pollution.
So they're impacted by the adverse health outcomes. They also tend to live in lower quality housing, right? So when you have intense heat or intense cold, they're less well placed to sort of protect themselves against that.
Climate change is also driving up household bills in unexpected ways, like food.
The price of staple foods has soared in recent months. Britain's now buying less to eat.
Higher prices affect us all, but for some working class families, this can be devastating.
Nobody can afford to live at the moment.
People are often marginalized due to many factors, not just class, but also gender, race, disability, or more. For example, in the UK, Black and minority ethnic people are more than twice as likely as white people to struggle to afford everyday basics such as food and energy. And as we transition towards cleaner energy systems in the UK, we often hear,
You just need to buy an electric vehicle, you just need to buy solar panels or a heat pump. And government subsidises that, sometimes quite handsomely. Working class people, lower income groups, fuel poor households don't have the luxury of accessing that kind of policy.
So it's important we build a just transition, one that leaves no one behind, and is led by communities that are worst affected by climate change.
This class divide in terms of haves and have-nots, these are political choices.
It is solvable, but the solution must be inclusive.